Hello? Thanks for joining us again on the channel. This one's been on my radar for a while, and now, thanks to a friend who got his hands on it, I finally get to share the experience with you. Before we get started, feel free to check out the discount link in the description and the pinned comment. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer found this monitor to be an impressive, albeit heavy, piece of equipment. Our reviewer notes that anyone planning to use a VESA mount should ensure it is robust enough to handle the significant weight of the display. While the overall impression is very positive, this client did encounter a few small hitches. Like many displays, navigating the settings with the small joystick control can be a bit clumsy and unintuitive. A couple of other minor annoyances were noted, such as a power light that is exceptionally bright and can't easily be covered, leading our reviewer to simply turn the unit off when not in use. There was also a very faint coil whine that was only perceptible to someone with extremely sensitive hearing. Finally, a tiny scuff was present on the screen upon arrival, but it was so minor that it's only visible on bright backgrounds and wasn't significant enough to warrant a return. Despite these small quirks, the experience was overwhelmingly positive. Our reviewer loves the sheer size and clarity of the display, finding it excellent for both gaming and productivity tasks like coding and working with text. The picture quality is a major highlight, getting remarkably close to the performance of an OLED panel. Unless a user is an enthusiast specifically seeking those perfect, inky blacks, this display is more than sufficient. The built-in port hub was also praised as a great convenience, and the general dimming capabilities work well for everyday use. Ultimately, this client feels that this monitor represents fantastic value, especially when found at a more competitive price. As the cost begins to climb, however, it starts to enter a territory where entry-level OLED alternatives might become a more compelling option for some buyers.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer found this monitor to be a perfect budget-friendly option, representing a fantastic value for its price point. While our reviewer acknowledges that it is an IPS display and therefore won't produce the same deep blacks or vibrant colors as a much more expensive OLED panel, they felt that for anyone not overly concerned with that specific aspect, it's an absolute bargain. The high refresh rate was a major highlight. The initial jump from a slightly lower refresh rate wasn't immediately jarring, but after getting used to the monitor for a few weeks, the client found the experience to be incredibly smooth in comparison, making a noticeable difference in gameplay. A particularly praised feature was the 24.5-inch screen size, which this client found to be a sweet spot for several reasons. At its native 1440p resolution, the smaller screen size results in a very high pixel density, making everything on screen look sharp and crisp. More importantly, this size offers excellent versatility for those who might not have a top-of-the-line graphics card. A reviewer noted that when they needed to prioritize higher frame rates for performance, they could comfortably scale the resolution down to 1080p, and it looked great, almost as if it were a native 24-inch 1080p display. The only minor downside mentioned was that the overall build quality feels a bit on the cheaper side. However, this was seen as a very small trade-off. In the end, you simply can't beat the combination of 1440p resolution and a 240 Hz refresh rate at this price. This client highly recommends this monitor for any gamer on a budget looking to get into high-performance play without breaking the bank.
Awesome! Let's hear what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to share their initial thoughts after getting to use this monitor for a bit. First impressions were positive, especially regarding how well it was packaged. It arrived in absolutely perfect condition, though they recommend having 2 people available to handle the box due to its size. All the necessary cables were included, and the instructions were clear and easy to follow. Our reviewer did want to point out a potential hiccup for those planning to use the included base or wall mount. It seems like deciding which mounting option you want to use before you begin is crucial, as switching mid-assembly could be a bit of a headache. They learned this the hard way. As for the built-in sound, this client found it perfectly adequate for basic use. However, they personally opted for a monitor arm to mount this display, finding it preferable to the included base for their setup. After a week of use, everything is working wonderfully, and they're very happy with their purchase.
That's it for today's review. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let's chat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.